Today's video covers the 2022 Kirkland Signature Chateauneuf du Pape from Costco. I'll provide a bit of background information on where the wine is from. In addition, there'll be a tasting and an assessment of the current release. As always, thank you very much for clicking on one of my videos. I'm Bob Paulinski, Master of Wine. I've spent more than 40 years in the wine trade, and I post YouTube videos as often as I can. The 2022 Kirkland Signature Chateauneuf du Pape is not a year-round item. My advice is, if this catches your attention, the sooner you get to Costco, the better chance you have of finding it before it's gone. Based on the price of just under $20, it will likely sell through quickly. Chateauneuf du Pape is an appellation located in the southern Rhone Valley of France, not all that far from Provence. It's routinely a source for some of the top wines of the region. The vineyard yields are restricted to very low levels, about half of that versus what is found with classified growths in Bordeaux. Low yields often provide better ripeness for fuller, denser, more concentrated wine. It's common to find grapevines that are 50 plus years old, sometimes even 100 plus. This is a Mediterranean climate. The vines are dry farmed, irrigation is not allowed, and many vineyards are covered with large stones which retain heat. Typically, the wines will be around 14% alcohol, sometimes bumping a bit higher. 95% of the production is red, 5% white. There is no Chateauneuf du Pape rosé. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing it right now. Also, hit the like button, definitely hit the notification bell, and if you have some like-minded wine friends, please share this video as well. It's much appreciated. A wide array of grape varieties are grown in the southern Rhone, but only a few provide most of the volume. Grenache forms the base of the wines. It adds structure, lifted fruit character, moderate tannins, and body. Syrah lends deep color, black fruit characteristics, and savory spice notes in addition to tannins. Mourvedre imparts a deep color, it heightens the aroma of the wine, and provides additional black fruit characteristics. Combined, the three are often called the Holy Trinity. For the Kirkland Signature Chateauneuf du Pape, it includes all three plus a bit of Cinsault, which lifts the aroma and adds acidity. The other grape varieties play a minor role and are oftentimes interspersed as part of a mixed field blend. Chateauneuf du Pape means Pope's New Castle. It's in reference to the Avignon papacy of the 1300s, which resulted in the Pope taking up residence in the Rhone Valley instead of Rome. To play off this historical event, in the 1930s, the original distinctive bottle was created, a coat of arms which bears a papal emblem placed above the keys of St. Peter, along with the words Chateauneuf du Pape written in Gothic letters. This has since been a guarantee of authenticity of the wine. Moving ahead to the 1950s, the stories just keep getting better. The region was home to UFO hysteria, when a rail worker claimed to have spotted a cigar-shaped spacecraft complete with aliens. The local government put their impressive problem-solving skills into action to pass a decree to prohibit aliens from entering the local skies, a decree that is still in the books to this day. In the 1980s, the story provided the inspiration for California wine producer Bonnie Doone's top wine, La Cigar Volante. Its reference still shows up in popular culture from time to time. Overall, the 2022 vintage is very good and relatively trouble-free in the southern Rhone. It was a warm growing season, resulting in a high level of fruit ripeness. The alcohol levels are often around the 15% mark, as is the case with the current release from Kirkland Signature. Even though 2022 was broadly considered a strong vintage, it did have some problems, including a freak storm that brought hail and a tornado that ripped through some iconic vineyards late in the growing season. This is a bit of a wine geek thing, but I always make a point of taking a look at the type of wine closure that's being used. And in this case, it's natural cork, but it's primarily agglomerate cork, so little tiny ground bits. And there's a natural cork disc at either end. This is good quality. This type of cork generally will not cause any problems with the wine, and generally you'll get some good longevity from it as well. Now, in terms of how this wine looks, I'm a little bit surprised. I expected it to have a bit more depth of color. If I put my fingers down at the base of the glass and look down, I can see my fingers clearly. So there's a fair amount of fade as you get out to the edge of the glass, a bit of a reddish purple color. There's no browning at the edge of the glass at all. It has a very youthful appearance. I just expected the color to be a bit deeper. With the aroma, it's red fruit character, specifically red raspberry. A little bit of a smoky, spicy characteristic there. Touch of alcoholic heat at 15% alcohol. That's no surprise, very typical for wines from the Southern Rhone. But it does seem a little tight. I get the feeling there's more here to this wine than what I'm getting right now. On the palate, again, good presence. The wine has structure, weight. The fruit seems very, very ripe. That red fruit character and that spice, little peppery note shows through. But the wine seems a little tight and a little closed, and I'm going to try something to see if it'll help. So it's not often that I use a decanter, but I think in this case, this will definitely serve a purpose. Now, unlike oftentimes decanting old bottles of wine where you want to separate the sediment from the wine, that is not an issue here. This is all about introducing air. So if you get some serious glugging sounds going on, that's fine. So here we go, give it a good old glug. And again, this is all about introducing air. You can also just give the decanter a good swirl. I don't have a second decanter, but I do have a clean pitcher, and I'm going to go back and forth. I want to introduce that air. Okay, through the magic of YouTube, I've gone back and forth between the decanter and the pitcher 10 times. So I've also waited about 20 minutes. So let's see if this has made any difference in terms of the aroma and flavors on this wine. So the aroma with that red raspberry fruit, all that red fruit character definitely still is there. All that smoky, savory spice note. I'd say it's ratcheted up a bit. It's still not fully what I would like it to be, but I think we're heading in the right direction. I definitely do think the aroma has much more intensity. There's more breadth, more range in it. It really does smell quite good. Same on the palate. Red fruit, savory, spicy, smoky. Good lift on the palate. I mean, the wine has some very good presence. There is a bit of tannin in the back palate as well. It's not astringent at all, but you definitely do get a little bit of the tannin. Very well made. The wine is showing better when you give it some aeration. So my idea would be this. If you're going to be drinking this wine soon, definitely aerate it. Either put it in a decanter, let it sit, pour a couple of glasses, set them aside. But that introduction of oxygen will help to really develop the wine's full range. The other option is this wine certainly does have the capability to age a few years. I don't think this is meant for long-term cellaring, but if you kept it for 2 or 3 years, you're going to see this wine evolve over time. I like this wine. I think it's solid, it's interesting, it's becoming more nuanced, a little more expressive. It's very, very enjoyable. I don't think this is a fantastic bottle of Chateauneuf du Pape. In my view, this would be more like a premium level of Côte de Rhone Village, which is not a bad thing. For the price point, the wine is a very good value. I think it's solid, it's enjoyable, and if you're interested in this, definitely don't delay. If you have any questions or comments on Chateauneuf du Pape, please post it down below. I do my best to follow up on each and every one. You know what I'm going to be drinking tonight? I hope you're drinking something interesting as well. As always, thank you very much for supporting my channel. Please stop back again before too long. Cheers.